What's up? What's up? I know my last video, I told you I was going to take my butt to bed or something. I was going to eat and take my butt to bed and get some rest. But my girlfriend sent me this clip from Facebook. I'll let the video play and you decide what you think.
I dated Tessa. I know right now y'all like, Tom, you dated Tessa? Like, yeah, I've dated her multiple times. So it's a little windy out here. The thing y'all gotta understand is, I went through the comments and I saw so many judgmental comments about, what she did wrong, red flags she should have saw, all this stuff, right? But at the same time, it's like, all these people who are commenting, yeah, y'all do the same thing. And like when people comment under my videos and they're like, well, Tom, where do you find me these women at with all these problems and all these women with all these issues? You are those women. That's what's so crazy to me. Everybody's ignoring the fact that they have their own personal bag of BS when they out here commenting in the comments. What? You are the problem. I am the problem. We all are the problem. We don't know what we're doing. How I dated this person. Look, on the first date, she told me, like literally in the first couple conversations, she's like, yeah, you're toxic, I can tell already. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you've done like 2 or 3 things right now that just basically are red flags and I should get up and leave right now. Now me, I'm sitting there like, what the hell is she talking about? And she's like, well, for one, you have your phone face down on the table, eating and talking to you. Why would I have my phone on the table as a distraction or have it face up as a distraction? Because I get a lot of notifications on my phone, even if I'm not using it. But the thing is, her logic was sound because most dudes be hiding information or hiding what they got going on with other women, on their phone. So I get that. But she went on to tell me the reason she was feeling that way is because of her previous relationship. And so basically when she met this guy, he told her up front, he was like, hey, I really like you. Everything is going great, but I want to let you know that I got some things on my background that if you ever did a search on me, it would come up. Now, most of us would say right then and there, that's a red flag. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to break up with this guy right now. I'm done. But she didn't. She listened to what he said. He told her, hey, I've got a charge for gross sexual imposition on my background. It happened when I was 25. I didn't know I was dating a 17-year-old girl. She told me she was 19 and went to the university in our town. Now think about it. If I'm 25 years old and I meet some girl who's close to 18 and she's talking well, looking well, I'm not doing a background check at 25 on nobody. So I could see how somebody might have slipped up and got a charge that way. But this story gets way deeper than that, buddy. So she got past the initial charge and said, you know what, I'm gonna see what happens with the relationship. But it just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So about 2 weeks into the situation, they get intimate. Now, this is all literally on our first date, sitting in a restaurant. She's telling me this story. And so she's like, we get intimate. And I'm like, so, okay, was that problematic? Were you not compatible? I'm asking a couple questions. So she's like, it was just different. And I'm like, different how? And so she's like, well, he didn't penetrate me where he should have. Now at this point, the waiter walked past while she said that. She was just like, the waiter was like, and she just kept telling me all this stuff, right? Now, for me, her telling me all this stuff should be a red flag because she's telling me all this stuff. I don't know her from Adam. This is the first encounter we've ever been on. So she tells me he eats her out, has anal sex with her, and doesn't put it in her coochie. And this went on for weeks and months. He never hit the coochie. Always her butt, always ate her out. Once again, that's different, but we're all different. We all do stuff that's different and weird and suspect. But we think it's absolutely normal because it's our lives and we're so used to doing what we want to do. So we don't really even think about how different and unnormal the behavior that we put out in the world is. And so like, when I'm watching this 50-part series on this woman and everybody's just like, why did she? Yeah, you do it too. Now back to the story. Make a long story short, this dude ends up arrested again for gross sexual imposition of a minor. He was, because at this point he's in his 40s and he was dating a teenager. and got caught while he was dating her. Actually, multiple teenagers. Now, she rode with him on these charges. He told her, like, hey, I was providing some tutoring services. These girls are just really raunchy in the streets, and they got caught doing something else, and they told their parents that, you know, I was the one they was messing with. I never touched these girls. And so she backed him up. She got him a lawyer. She paid for his defense. She was locked in. I want to be locked in. I want to be locked in with my man. They go to trial. Now, remember, she's telling me all this on the first date. So they go to trial. She is locked in 10 toes deep until she hears the witness testimony. Little girl gets on the stage and she's like, you know, Mr. So-and-so was so nice in the beginning and he was so truthful and honest about things. And the first time we had sex, I just thought it was strange. He only wanted to have sex in my butt after he ate me out. The other little girl gets on the stand, says the same exact story. So now the girls that I'm on the date with, she's sitting in the audience of the court and she's conflicted because that's what he did to her. And so at that point, she was able to step outside of the situation and see how far and how stupid and how many red flags that she just hit go on that she had did. And so at that point, when I went out with her, that was her first date in like 3 years because she was so traumatized by that experience. And I say all that to say, we're judging people about driving past red flags or, you know, moving forward past red flags. And I'm here to say we all do it. We all do it. And it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter how lonely you are. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. We just don't see red flags like the people who are not in the situation. Now, I could tell you right now, y'all can all be like, that was stupid. She should have never did that. Da 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 da. But she did. And so have you. You have had red flags in a situation and you have drove right past them. And if you say you didn't, you lying. So I say all that to say, yes, I've dated a Ressa Tessa, and so have you been a Ressa Tessa. So quit judging that woman. Look at your own life.
Now look here. Ain't nobody trying to be perfect up in here. I know everybody done been in a situation where they've ignored some red flags, okay? But you can't sit up there and tell us everybody is a Ressa Tessa. All of us women are Ressa Tessas, okay? Because I'm sorry, I ain't had that many red flags and not extreme red flags like that, okay? I'm just speaking for myself, okay? Ain't nobody no perfect individual. But here's where I got a problem. So you just met this chick. You went on your first date with her. And she divulged all that personal information to you on your first date. Where was the red flag for you? That's my question. Because I'm sorry, if somebody's telling me that they was traumatized by some dude that she was dating or whatever, and she's telling him that on their first date, I assume that's what it sounded like, at least, that when they started kicking it or whatever, he told her on their first date that he had some criminal charges pertaining to sexual misconduct of some kind, dating underage girls. Okay? And yes, that is a red flag, but I commend him for letting her know. You know, I mean, that's I'm not tripping with her about that. Okay? Nevertheless, she decided to go in forward with this relationship. Here's where I got a problem. 2 weeks later, you slept with him. And then you commenced to telling this dude you talking to now on a first date the details of your sexual experience with him as to how he wouldn't go where he was supposed to go and went in the back door instead and then had lunch afterwards. That's another red flag. How about that? 2 red flags. You slept with him 2 weeks And then she's telling you details. That's 2 red flags for you, my brother. And oh, by the way, this was not really the Ressa Tessa. He said, we've all been a Ressa Tessa. And he said toward the end, I've dated a Ressa Tessa. So let's get the record straight that this wasn't Ressa Tessa he was talking about. Okay? But see, here's the difference between that girl and Ressa Tessa. Ressa Tessa stopped ignoring her red flags when they were no longer red flags. They was just outright facts. And she decided to live with those facts because she was stacking her dough. Because like she said, after a while, she couldn't stand him no more. She couldn't stand to be around him. So despite all the red flags and all the red flags that came later, they were no longer flags. You had enough to leave long time ago, but you stuck around. You stuck around, didn't you? Because you stood to gain something out of it. He was paying your bills, Ressa. Now this chick here, she paid for this dude's defense. So she went in her pocket and paid for dude's defense. And he was guilty because them girls got up on the stand and told the same detailed sexual details on how this man was having sex with them. And that's how she knew that it was true, because that's what he had done to her. So, dude, don't try to lump everybody under one umbrella, because everybody red flags ain't the same. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Now, if you had some red flags, maybe you should check your red flags a little bit. Stop dating women that's willing to divulge all of this information to you on their first date, because I would have been side-eyeing her my doggone self. What are you telling me about all this sex that you had with this man and you just met me? I hope you didn't have sex with and stayed with him for months. Let's go back a little bit. He said they were together for months. Not just after 2 weeks she had sex with him. She kept having sex with him because she didn't leave. It was weird to her. Didn't it continue to be weird to her? He never put it in. Okay, that's a bit odd. But hey, if that's you, you do you, boo-boo. But that is not conducive to a real sexual relationship. That's just teasing, kind of. I hope he did it right with his mouth. Because if he didn't put the real thing in, then what's the point? And I'm sorry, ain't nothing going in the back. That particular orifice is for exit only, not enter. No, baby. Not the kid. So, y'all ponder that. Maybe you might have some comments. Put them in my comments. I just had to share that. Because Ressa Tessa is still out there. She's still trending. Because now other people are getting on. Matter of fact, didn't you notice that guy's video was awfully edited? Like every few words, you could tell it was a clip. Because it would kind of change a little bit. You know? Spliced a lot of pieces together. How rehearsed was that? I'm just saying what I'm saying. But anywho, I'm getting off this doggone phone. I just turned into some doggone film critic, and I can't even do any of these graphics. But I did learn how to screenshot videos tonight. I'm coming out of the ghetto graphics department right now. Yes, I am. So, hey, I love y'all. Boom. Take care. Bye.